It's time for something else new that we've added to the event. We've had so many outstanding players who've competed in Texoma over the years. And I say outstanding because maybe they don't reach quite that Hall of Fame caliber when looked at as an individual. But when you put a certain group of athletes together, they can really create something special. So tonight we present to you the first team inducted into Texoma's Next Star Sports Hall of Fame. In 1962, the Archer City Wildcats won just 3 games. In 1963, they won 7. Then in 1964, with hopes of competing for a district championship, the team began their season by losing 2 of their first 3 games, including a 41-0 beatdown by Olney, before reeling off 12 straight wins on their way to a state championship. Underdogs in every playoff matchup, the Wildcats beat Keller, then Goldthwaite, then Clifton. In the state semifinals, after scoring their lone touchdown, Big Lake successfully kicked an extra point and then decided to instead go for 2 after the Wildcats were penalized for being offside. On the ensuing play, the Owls' star fullback was stopped just short of the goal line. Archer City beating Big Lake 7-6 in one of the biggest upsets in Texas high school playoff history. That unbelievable win was eclipsed the following week when the Wildcats upset the highly touted and heavily favored Ingleside Mustangs 13-6 in Austin for the title. In the 60 years since, no Archer City Wildcat team has won a state football title. How remarkable was their 1964 Cinderella season? When the final Harris poll results were posted that year, the Wildcats were ranked 7th in the state in Class 1A, despite having won the state championship. Tonight, we welcome the 1964 Archer City Wildcats football team into Texoma's Next Star Sports Hall of Fame. And it's my pleasure to welcome the 1964 Wildcats to the stage. Mike, I'm going to let you hold on to this.
All right, sir.
And as for the gentleman down here in the front, I'm going to hand you the microphone, and I just want you to say your name and the position you played for the 64 Wildcats and pass it down the line.
Charlie Goforth, I was a freshman on that team, and I played tackle.
Bob Gaines, I was a safety and a quarterback behind one of the really good quarterbacks, Barry Morrison.
Buddy Knox, offensive center.
Larry Graham, defensive safety.
Jim Harney, backup fullback.
Butch Hanna, left tackle, offensive defense.
Mickey Haraney, I was a junior halfback.
We'll continue that right up here on the stage now. Introduce yourself and pass it along.
Jim Reeves.
Mike Ashley, freshman, tight end. Bill Holder, I was running back, and I was a sophomore.
Gary Tepfer, senior fullback.
Barney Oliver, senior defensive end.
Barry Morrison, senior quarterback.
Mike Stewart, senior halfback.
And Mike, Not everybody is here today. You wanted to recognize some others. Go ahead and share with me those names.
Okay. Ones we lost these last few years: Steve Parsley, Billy Pitts, Gary Johnson, Robert Tepfer, Andy Rogers, and Jimmy Boone. We also lost a trainer, Danny Hall, and 2 cheerleaders, Pat Holder and Jody Tepfer. Of course, our 3 coaches, Grady Graves, Bobby Ray, and Roy Williams. And these young men that we've lost, several of them went to the service, and we want to recognize their service and all the other veterans here to their service to our country, and appreciate all that. We've got a few people that we didn't get to come, but our 3 trainers, John O'Donohue, David Wright, and Donald Doris, and a team member, number 81, Ray Bussey. I think he's in Colorado fixing fence or working on windmills or something like that, I think. That's an inside joke you have to know. And of course, we've all appreciate this honor that you've given us, and the 1964 Wildcats are here, and what we have left is a pretty good bunch of people. And we have always laughed about these men that went to service, that they said that boot camp was kind of a piece of cake compared to Coach Grady Graves' 2-day workouts. But anyway, that's pretty well the whole thing we've got here.
Mike, well, let me ask you this. So, I mean, we have teams in Texoma that win state championships every year.
Yes, sir.
But the one thing that bonds them together is the victory, but the time that they spent together, whether it's on bus rides, in the locker room. And this is just a testament to the fact that you are truly a family, is it not?
That's correct. That's correct. We worked hard, played hard, and all grew up to be about halfway decent people.
After the show, you can tell me which ones aren't half decent.
Okay.
One more question. So, when you guys played, it was very common for people to have nicknames. You've got a nickname yourself, right? So tell me, how did you get the name Swivel Hips?
Well,
wait a minute. This is a family show, right? Can you tell me? How did you get the name Swivel Hips?
We had a lot of workouts, and Coach Graves always wanted somebody to tackle somebody, and they decided that I must have been a little hard to tackle for some reason, and I tried to tell them. We just kept going through workouts and going through plays, and I got tired because I was the one having to carry the ball. And I told him, I said, look, I always go to the right. So let's get this down so we can stop this stuff. And evidently, these guys come up that, I don't know.
Well, thank you so much to the 1964 Wildcats for being here tonight. And now I'm going to send it to MJ Swivel Hips Baird.
MJ Swivel Hips Baird. Doesn't roll off the tongue like it does for Mike. Anyway, I'm here at Table 9 with Jim Black, author of this book, Miracle on the Gridiron, about that 1964 Archer City Wildcats state championship team. Jim, I'd be lying if I said I read the book, but I did read the prologue. And you said you were 11 years old. You went to every game that year. What do you remember most about the 1964 Archer City Wildcats?
You know, I was 11 when they won, and like every kid my age, you know, they were my heroes. And that's mostly what I remember. And all these years later, you know, they still are. And there's a lot of people from Archer County here tonight at home watching on TV that feel the same way. These guys are still heroes.
We're talking about a team that went from 2-2 to 14-2, 12 straight wins. I mean, they were underdogs. Is it fair to call them a Cinderella team?
Absolutely, I think so. They were 3-4 touchdown underdogs in most of those playoff games. So it was just a surprise week after week to everybody outside of Archer City. I think all the people in Archer thought they could do it. the team thought they could do it, and certainly Grady did. But it was Cinderella season for sure.
Jim, I'm going to have to read the book. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everybody from the Archer County community for being here. Tobin, 1964 Archer City Wildcats, the inaugural team inductee into Texoma's Next Star Sports Hall of Fame.
Let's hear it again for the 64 Wildcats. Okay, our next honor is the